Happy Monday. Welcome back to Trading Unfiltered in a new glorious week. Last full week of February.
That's
What
right.
up, Leia?
What's going on, dog?
This is a decent day. Decent day. You killed it.
I had a pretty good day.
You did, I think, today what I did Friday. Friday, I was at the screens, open to close. And
Yep.
I probably would have been a day. Got a little tilted on one and had to take a little walk and came back for the last hour. But anyway, all in all, good day. We're gonna do some trade recap. Try to keep it short, sweet, simple. Bust out a couple trades each, and hopefully keep this week rolling.
That's right.
Do this thing.
Hit it.
Okay. So, couple trades each. I have a good one, pretty good, and I have a. I don't even want to call it bad. Followed my plan.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it just didn't work out. And we got it where we wanted. It's a
And I
good
would
risk
have
reward play.
I would have stopped out on it too, but like I've changed my how I'm doing my stops. So I mean it's not always the best way to go about it, but I just hate getting wicked out. And since I've
Oh,
been
I agree.
yeah,
I
I'm
agree.
not ranging it because like we were talking about, I was at the computer all day.
Yeah, and I don't use range orders if I'm going to be here. I got hungry today. I really wanted some Chipotle. I indulged on an amazing steak burrito, but it cost me today. Not the burrito. I mean, the burrito cost me, but anyway, I'm just going to get into mine because let me just get mine out of the way because mine is it's the one that had me a little bit a little tilted, I guess. So anyway, all right, let's get into this thing. So we had been talking about this ticker all morning. We talked about it in pre-market. We had it on our watch list. We wanted it right around these levels, and we had been talking about it
It was
all
the
morning.
most obvious levels.
It was, and we even said we wanted it to get to those levels, but we were really wanting some sort of like blow off move. Like we wanted something to get like a bull trap, right? We call it a fake breakout or whatever. That's what we wanted. And it grinded more than we liked. But we took it because, good risk reward. Had to try it. Took it here. And I think I said to you in the room today, I was like, if it breaks and holds 5, I'm going to get out and look to reattack. So I did. Got out right there. And literally right after I got out, that's where that blow off move finally happened that we had been wanting. We wanted this huge volume to come in, quick fake breakout spike, and then just slam back down and really just major bull trapping those longs. That's what we were wanting. So when it did that move, I did reattack. Was really happy with my entries because it did what we finally wanted it to do. And then it had this major flush, and I took half off to try to recoup some of this. Took half off, and I was going to let the rest ride into this hopeful, breakdown of the 1-200, which we got, but not before. So when this happened, I'm kind of watching it. I see it bounce off VWAP, and somewhere right around here, around 11, which is noon our time, I was like, all right, I'm hungry. I'm going to range this thing. I'm going to take a break, whatever. So I ranged it. And as you can see, that's where I put my stop at. And I put my target. I put my target low, like 390, which was by design. I was hoping to come back after lunch. I didn't expect it to be at 390. Didn't expect it at my stop either. But anyway, it hit my stop. So that was it for me. And I'm waiting, if I don't already have some messages about why would you set your stop below a new high of day? And for me, that's a pretty easy answer. And I think a lot of people would probably agree with this. But if you have any sort of size on a trade and you set your stop just above high a day, you can get another fake breakout just above this high a day. You can get another quick you can get another one of these above high a day, and that will create some pretty bad slippage. And that could take what could be a manageable loss into a much bigger loss than I'd like to see. It can literally spike up 5 to 10% in seconds on those fake breakout moves, especially on something like this that's grinded. It's got major volume coming in. So that's why I do that. And if I'm ranging it, it is what it is. I didn't expect it to happen. I basically top ticked my exit. Very unfortunate because obviously it did what we expected it to do. It is what it is. It happens. It happens. I still remember to this day watching, like, I think it was Tim Grattani's Trading Tickers 1. And he talks a lot about, I think at that time he was only using hard stops. And he would talk about how bad it sucks to like get top ticked on an exit. But it happens, just part of it. And it used to really piss me off. And this one still kind of did, but it is what it is. Part of it. I followed my plan, right? Like we got in where we wanted to get in. I exited where I was talking about. I reattacked where I wanted, covered some on the flush, got where we eventually wanted, but it just is what it is. So a steak burrito today cost me a little bit of a move here, and it's rather unfortunate. But
it happens, man.
It happens. It'll happen again. And you don't see this type of stuff posted too often on the interwebs. But whatever. It keeps it real.
I just screenshot a let's see here. Just for the sake of doing it.
Your AMAM?
Yeah, and well, I've got mine, and I just went and screenshot the daily.
Oh yeah, that's what I should have done. Good call.
Let's see here. So here first I'll share the daily for what we were looking at, and yeah, I do have the linear regression on here, so don't be giving me any hell. Let's see here. Is it just showing a black screen?
Yes, it is.
Let me try this again.
This is harder than it looks, folks. Let me tell you.
Yeah. How's that look?
Boom. There it. Yep, that's it.
Yep. So you can see that volume right there, that big volume level. That's from back in December?
Yep.
That was that day I got that long on it, which was just, I think it was, what was it, like cancer news or something that day?
Yeah, something like that. And I don't even know if I said this in the room. I may have said it to you. We talked to a lot of people throughout the day, but when we're talking about AMAM, or I said it to somebody, I would have never had a deep price target on AMAM anyway, because as you can see, the last time when it had a big green day, it held every bit of those gains. So when you see stuff like that on the daily, you can't expect to get a deep price target when that thing held every bit of that gain.
And I was messaging you in the room. I was like, man, I want it all or nothing. But I mean, you
did all right with it.
Yeah, let's see. I'll show you. Let's see here. My actual chart looked like this. So yeah, I started attacking it here at that level, and it looked like it failed. You can see right there, it looked like it failed, and so I added in. And at this point, I'm almost full size, and then I did like another little whatever ad at 475, and I set my stop just right above it. I was like, if it goes above this, I've got to stop out. So I'm taking a full size stop right here, and that's like a good 20 cents, 25 cents worth of stop. And then in these two arrows right here, I got full size, half size back in, and I was going to try to get it just a little higher and then cover some whatever, but then it failed there. Looked like it bagged everybody, so I tried to hit this bounce. I'm back in full size here, um, and I took off half at the 1-200, which was right there, and the rest I just held until the end of the day.
Yeah, it never gave a solid breakdown, but like I said, the last time this thing ran, it never gave a intraday breakdown either. It wasn't until the next day when it really failed.
Yep, and I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just wanted more. You see that 5-minute 200, and it's way down here. You're thinking, man, this is so extended, but
yep,
I know it was something JJ talks about a lot. It was bouncing off of the 10-minute 8 EMA. I was noticing all day.
Yeah, he's the man when it comes to EMAs.
Yeah, I mean, still decent little trade for me.
I mean, we both followed our plan. We had, the same mindset with it. We followed our plans, and we got out of it what we could. I mean, obviously, my exit wasn't ideal, but all in all, it's one of these you can't be mad at. It has a good risk reward setup, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
That's right. I mean, I'm content with it. So that's that.
Yep.
What do you got next?
Next, I got. Unfortunately, I caught this one early. So we got CMMB. I caught it. Now, again, we talked about this one pre-market. Put it on the watch list, and I was calling this. For me, this is more of a gap and crap, right? It gaps up, craps before open, and the way I like to play these is I like to hit these right at VWAP. I like it VWAP kiss, literally touch VWAP at this purple line and to fail immediately, which is exactly what happened. However, I got half size here, wanted full size, literally right there. Should have put a limit order in on it. I didn't. I was messing with at the time IBIO, which at that point in the day was kind of a wash. So wrong ticker to be focused on. And I even said going into open that this was my main watch. Took my eyes off it. But anyway, it wasn't a bad day. It could have been a better day for me, but it wasn't bad either. It was a bunch of solid base hits. I didn't take any big losses. Green on the day. As far as percent gain, everything was fairly solid. But this is kind of another missed opportunity, somewhat like AMAM, but this one obviously worked out a little better. But anyway, I love taking these type of already broken stock. I love taking them at VWAP. It didn't, or for me, I didn't get the fill. So I was only half size. But anyway, covered on the massive flush, covered again here. And on a stock like this that was already, because I think when the stock opened on the day, it may have been up, it was 20%-ish, give or take.
Something like that.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot of meat left on it. So on stocks like this, I think they're an easier play, but it's not something that you can have a deep price target on. So
No,
I was
not at all.
Yeah, so this was a quick in and out pop or whatever. Covered the majority here. I think I had at this point 15% of my position left, and I was going to stop out if it ever got above 1-200 EMA, which is this blue line. Even if it just wicked above it, I was going to be done. It was just lotto size, whatever. So it did it here. Yeah, top ticked the exit again, but obviously it went above it again a couple times, and then here it just cleared it. So all in all, this was a solid trade.
It opened it at right under 24%.
Yeah, so something like that when they're opening that low and below the 1-200, below VWAP. Yeah, I love the setup, and to me, this is an A+ setup. But I won't look to get more than 10 to 15% out of this. This was still, despite this miss here at VWAP, this was still a 10% trade. Doesn't look like much, but it's 10%. If I'd have nailed it at VWAP, it'd have been closer to 15, 16. So I missed my ad. A little disappointed. Is what it is, but To me, this is a super safe, solid play. Good risk reward, easy to identify. The setup, I love it. I just hate that I missed the ad. But all in all, I like the trade. And one other thing I want to show with CMMB right here. We talked about this too in pre-market. This is CMMB the last time it gapped up. The gap stats on this only had 2 gaps, but both of them failed. Never even had a spike at open. Like, they fail miserably, or the stock fails miserably. So when I see that type of behavior from gap stats, and this was the previous gap on this thing, it gapped up big, gapped up like not quite 100%, but pretty damn close, 80, 90.
Mm-hmm.
And it opened, it just died, and it faded all day. So when I see something like that with some decent volume, I am not expecting much out of it, especially when the gap is only 20%. So to me, that was an easy gap and crap style setup. I didn't expect much out of it. I hate that I missed the ad, but again, we talk about confluence a lot, but when we see something like this on the most recent gap on a stock, that just some solid reassurance that it's going to do this again. And it also did this on its gap way back when prior to this one. This wasn't that long ago. I don't remember the date on this, but anyway, we're all about confluence.
And we're just for the reference on it, when you take one like that, where do you usually have your stop at?
Let me go. Yeah.
On VWAP on a gap, because that's not my setup at all. But I want to start trading that setup more. So
for me, it's more of a. I'm not a system trader per se, but statistically, on these types of setups, when they hit VWAP like that, and I'm not one to swallow even a 10% loss, but the average, and this is just from my own data tracking, the average amount that they go back above VWAP is usually between 6 and 8%. So if you're willing to set a stop even at 8%, the odds of you winning that, it's almost like a 75 to 80% win rate with a 2-1 risk reward.
Pretty good.
Yeah, and again, you don't get a lot out of it because it's not as, gap and craps aren't as extended as what AREB or whatever was, stay up like 80% or whatever. These aren't as extended, so you're not going to get as much out of them. But if if I'd have got full size at VWAP and risked 8% to make 16, 2-1 risk reward or 2R, whatever you want to call it, however you want to call it. But for me, good setup, good risk reward. I'm not one to take big losses. I could take an 8% loss comfortably with the target of 16%, 2-1, risk reward. So that's how I play them. Like I said, I'm not a system trader per se. If it goes up 5% above VWAP and firms up and starts to consolidate, I might get out, more of a discretionary thing. But, we're kind of
semi, yeah.
Yeah, we like our data, but we also, are discretionary at the same time. So that's how I play gap and craps. But yeah, so those are my 2 that I was going to show today. AMAM was a B for me. CMMB was solid. I missed the perfect ad. But again, it happens. It's part of it. I was looking at another stock, and that's what you get for you lose focus for 1 minute, and it can cost you either an opportunity or a loss bigger than what you anticipate. So you got to, focus in the right areas is everything. But like I said, it was a solid day for me. No big wins, but no bad losses. Just, 3 or 4 solid base hits. And that's the kind of day it was, which again, those are the type, we talk about this a lot, but you don't have to have massive wins to like grow an account. If you can just 5 to 10% a day, I don't know. You already know I'm gonna go with that. Anyway,
no,
I know you got.
I agree with you. I agree with you totally, man.
And then not to say like sometimes we don't have. I mean, the trade you're about to show is major. And last week we had a couple nice pairs that were some major deep hits. Like 30, 40%, and they happen. but you don't have to get that on every single ticker. The problem is on Twitter, most of what you see are the best trades. And again, it's just a highlight reel. People want to, show their best stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that. I used to hate that. It used to bother me, but I'm over it. Anyway,
Hey, I mean, it makes sense. And this one that I'm about to show, it looks like a damn.
it's perfection from an execution standpoint. We both traded this, but you traded it 1,000% better. I made 10% on this trade. You probably made what? 40?
Something like that.
Yeah. So, yep.
Let's see here. Yep, here it is. Yeah, so it was did this one hit your parascanner?
Yes. Well, okay. So it hit my. We know how our pair scans have the text side and the alert side.
Mm-hmm.
It did not hit my alert side. It hit my text side because of volume. But that's just how I have mine set up. Mine only alerts me for X amount of volume, but the text box will still light up. Pair is on extremely low volume. So I can at least look at them to see if I want to consider it, but it won't alert me to it with an audible alert, if that makes sense.
This is kind of like, I mean, this is like my favorite kind of setup, man. And there's a few I know we've done in the videos and stuff in the past week or two that I've done good on, and then I've botched some, like I'd wind up covering like right here.
Right.
Because I might have added into it like right here. And so just like trying to get a bunch of size. So on this one, just right after I saw that little lower high, I'm just like getting all my size right here. Full size, half off, add back in full size with a limit order here and here. And it just so happened to be right.
Yeah, which those ads were nice.
Thanks, man. And
which that just gives a really nice risk reward, because even if you're wrong on those ads, I mean, I don't know what your stop was, whether it was a new high a day or whatever, but when you're adding it just that lower high, it just offers such a good risk reward.
Yeah, man, and that's what I have to tell myself. I'm like, man, this thing just ripped back up on more volume, but it's like I've got to just think. I mean, it stopped here. It's probably going to stop again.
And I almost took it because I think I was back then, but I had already seen my AMAM fiasco, and that's when I was like, I could feel myself wanting to revenge trade and make that back. So I was like, let me just stop.
I know how it is. But so I got lucky with these covers, and I had a cover at this went to 90 cents right here. I had a cover at like 90 cents and it didn't fill. And
pretty low. Yeah, at that point, the liquidity was pretty.
Oh yeah, man, it was super dry. I was like, oh man, because I still had like at least I think it was half size after this. And I got lucky. I was able to get all out right there, which was pretty much the lows. I don't always have a top tick, bottom tick chart like this, but when I do, it feels.
This is, to me, this is like the perfect parabolic short. Like, you absolutely murdered this thing. Like, this is how you play a para.
This is like textbook for me, like bread and butter. This is my favorite setup, and it's been a while since I've played one this well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at a point now, which I've talked about this before, about one of the only afternoon plays I'll take after about 11 a.m. for us, our time, is a parabolic. There's not a lot of afternoon setups that on the short side. I'm trying to work more on getting some afternoon breakout longs, but that's a lot of work left to do. But anyway, this was solid.
Thanks, man. And speaking of longs, we don't really show many longs, but I've got a long to show. Let's see. Just one more.
And you called it too.
Yeah. I was happy I called it out in the room. I mean, it just looked like a good spot, and after it had made the little 85-cent low, I have to go see what I was looking at. It's AMV. only thing about with a long like this is it's, you know, obviously I probably would have, it's, you know, it's very discretionary um when it comes to how you take these and whatnot. But so I've had people, you know, say things like that to me, like, well, how do you know where you want to stop? Whatever. The previous low was like from on a 15-minute chart. Was it like 90 cents? And I'm really just hitting this. I probably would have risked a couple of, you know, I was risking. It was pre-market when I took it, so I just went
Right.
ahead, took it full size. I'm gonna risk like 82 cents. You know, it if it starts dying more than that, then you gotta
Well,
let
I've
it go.
noticed on your longs, you keep the risk pretty tight.
Yeah, man. Like even to the point where sometimes I'll be getting just over and over wicked out and like end up having a max loss on the day or something. I've had a few of those where just I've set stops and it just keeps wicking down through my stop. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've had that a lot, and I just because I mean I like to keep the risk honestly probably a little bit tighter on a long at this point because I mean these things are just like, you know, they're gravity bound. It's, I mean, it's a junk company. I know it is. Obviously, it's why it's
That
doing what
trading
it's
a
doing.
dollar. Yeah.
Yeah, but I will say it's hard for me to always plan out how I'm going to take profits on a long because
I
you
think
know,
you scaled out nicely though. Scaled out on the pops. Took all
yeah,
out at red to green. Like,
yeah, man, this was just lotto size right here. I was pretty much out like almost all of it here. Um, I I had that limit order set since the morning with just a small size and came back at the end of the day and saw that it had, you know,
it's
hit
always a good feeling when you come back and see your limits have been taken out for the better.
exactly. This it was a good one. I haven't hit a long like that in a while. It was like
I
it
don't
was
think
a,
I've hit a long like that in 5 years.
well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I did hit that one on IBIO, but
I think
this
the last long I had was on GTII dip by.
oh
Good
yeah,
old OTC.
the OTs, yeah, the Tim Sykes special.
It's about the only thing I'm good at. uh, Even I don't want to say good at, but even comfortable longing right now. I'm working on it. But anyway, this was solid.
Thanks, man. I thought it was. I mean, I know I didn't have like a terrible trade today. The AMAM was the only one that didn't really work out great, but
Same. AMAM was my loser of the day. But I think I traded ooh, 5 tickers, and AMAM was the loser. Coin was a nice. I'm not even going to show that trade because I don't want to show that trade because they're anyway. It worked out for me, but I don't. After hours trading can get you into trouble.
oh yeah, man, you can get reamed real quick in after hours.
Yeah, and to be honest, I think I've taken 5 after-hour trades in the last year, so it's not something I do frequently. This was just more of a crypto was on the decline, and I just jumped on that bus and took a short at red to green, and it worked out. But anyway, I'm not even sure that chart because that can get people into trouble. So, guess we'll call it there, right? That's about all we got for today.
That's all I got, man.
Try to keep it short-ish and sweet. However, we are close. We are damn close to getting our shit together for some live streams, for some recorded stuff. I've been messing with OBS nonstop for like 3 days, and I almost got it. Really close. So hopefully we can start doing some live stuff in the mornings, watch list creations, maybe even trading. And then hopefully we can start having more screen recorded trades where we can speed up, slow down, talk through it as it's happening type of thing instead of just screenshots. But we're working on it. We're close. I'd say within the next week or so, 2, we should have that nailed down. Hopefully. We got a little bit more testing to do, but we're close. Freaking close. But anyway, I guess that's it. In the meantime, you know how it is. Like, comment, share. If we suck, let us know. If we're awesome, let us know. We're in New Age Wall Street every day now, trading every day. Everything we've posted today, we talked about in the room, in the moment, live, beforehand. I think every ticker that we just showed was on our pre-market watch list except KUKE, your para, because it was a para. I think everything else we showed was on the watch list that we put up today, right?
Yep. Yeah, it was.
And we're not fortune tellers. We don't know the future, but we had some pretty good calls today.
Yeah, some solid calls for real.
On a Monday, Tuesday. I've said Monday probably like 6 times on this little exchange here, but whatever.
It's all right.
It's our Monday, President's Day, whatever.
That's right.
All right. Well, I guess that's it. Until next time, appreciate y'all. Holler at you tomorrow. Check y'all later. Peace.
Peace.
Back it up with this.